I'm Craig Horton. I'm the property manager for Medford Better Housing. We're property managers for Johnston Manor Apartments, and we're here today interviewing Bob and Donna Mather. They've been longtime residents of Johnston Manor Apartments, and we hope through this interview that we'll get a feeling about what it's like to live at Johnston Manor, and if anybody is thinking about renting a unit at Johnston Manor, we would welcome that opportunity to have you fill out an application, 1118 Spring Street, and come by our office and consider living in either a one or a two-bedroom unit. So Bob and Donna, Bob, tell me how many years you've lived at Johnston Manor.
We moved in April 15th, 2005.
2005, so you've been here
Coming 8 years. We'll be completing 8 years.
8 years, great. Well, now, what prompted you, Donna, I was going to ask you, what prompted you to choose Johnston Manor as opposed to other apartment complexes in the area?
Well, for one, I have bad feet and I cannot walk any distance, and it's worse since we've been here. So I needed a drive-in accommodation. I can't do stairs.
Okay.
And when I talked to Jane, she suggested we come out here, looked around. It was spring. It was beautiful. I love the grounds. The smell of the place is very good. The lilac bushes right out there. And it fit our needs. We have Albertsons and Weimar down this way. We have Wendy's and the dollar store down this way.
Good.
We're right where we need to be.
Okay, cool. That's good. That's great.
I don't drive, so that takes care of that.
Right.
And of all things, I like it's quiet. I like the quietness. And this might sound ridiculous, but when I want to get out and be alone, I can go over to the cemetery, and it's quiet, and I don't know, I can walk with my own thoughts.
Yeah, I can understand it, because I know the cemetery is nearby. You've got a little
across the street
city park next door, and we've even got a new fire station that was just
I'm glad they're done working on that.
Right next door. Yeah, in fact, it was on the news this morning.
In fact, they're moving in today.
Oh, great, good. Well, good. Tell us, what do you like? And Donna touched on this a little bit, but Bob will ask you. What do you like about the two-bedroom that you live in? What features do you like here?
It don't take a whole lot to keep it clean.
Okay.
There is some certain disadvantages, but the advantages outweigh the disadvantages.
Right. Good.
It's a good balancing act for us.
I'm getting weaker all the times, and so because of her not being able to walk, I'm the gopher.
Right.
And so basically, I'm the housewife.
Right. Yeah. You're like Mr. Mom.
Not cut out for the job.
Mr. Mom to your wife. Well, that's really sweet.
And so I've got 40 years of experience of janitorial because I was a school janitor.
Oh, really? Nice.
And so it just kind of, I inherited that.
Right.
And so I can do the housework as long as my brain says I'm not being crowded.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. And you were talking about the quiet a while ago, that you like a peace of mind. We've been really lucky here that we've had some just great residents. You two are just fine examples. But Johnston Manor, we've had our problems here and there, but basically we've had really pretty good people.
There has been some certain disadvantages that a person don't like to, let's say, air in public.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But we try not to let those things interfere with our quality of life and the kind of people we are.
Good, very good,
and so we got some good neighbors now.
Oh, great.
And so I don't see no problem. Me and the cleaning crew, the yard crew comes in. We have a little. I try not to let it interfere, but I have a little problem of why do they blow the sidewalk before they mow the lawn, for instance?
Yeah. We've talked about that. I understand. Yeah.
But they haven't heard.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And so there's when you clean a house, and you do it right, you start from the ceiling and come down.
Right.
It's kind of like when you sweep the steps, you don't start at the bottom.
Right. Yeah.
Or
Gotcha.
paint the floor.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah.
Well, how do you, Don? I was going to ask you, how do you feel about the way that we manage the complex and the way we handle problems? Is
It
generally
seems to
we're
be
able-
dealt with in a timely fashion.
Okay, good service. Now I know that, see, your unit rents for $675. You're on the Housing Authority voucher, and then we have two bedrooms here, $675, and then we have 15 one bedrooms at $610. Just a little plug for what we have for the people that are watching. Now, how close you mentioned, Bob, how close you are to stores and other services? How far is, like, say Albertsons or the dollar store? How far is it?
Oh,
Dollar store is 4 blocks that way.
4 blocks? Okay.
yeah, it's probably a half a mile over and back.
Okay.
And
Good.
like I said, I'm getting weak. I'm no good from here down or here up, and so walking has never been a problem. But I'm getting weaker, and so the distance of walking is a little bit of a challenge for me now.
Right.
Because I'm coming up 80. I'll be 80 in June.
Oh, you look like you're in good shape for 80 years old. That's not
And
bad.
then, of course, I've got a stent in my heart.
Right, yeah,
and
that's
so,
normal. Right,
so
right.
I have to deal with my heart.
Right.
And then the biggest problem is between my ears because I have a comprehension problem.
Right.
And
Well,
so some things that go over my head really.
You do. I think you do pretty well.
So I cope with life problems the best I can. I'm probably more of a challenge to my wife than anybody.
Oh. Well, you've been married a long time. I've got to ask you, how long have you been married?
33 years in August.
33 years. Well, congratulations. That's
Thank you.
wonderful. I think that's really great. So now I know you aren't necessarily interested in the college services, but see, now the college is what, about half a mile, would you say?
Oh,
Yeah, half a mile to a mile.
Probably half, 3/4 of a mile.
Okay, good.
But
It's a second light that way.
There's an advantage to living in Ashland
Okay.
because somebody that walking, let's say, uphill does certain things for the heart and the body.
Right. That's
Walking downhill does something for the heart and the body.
That's good.
So
That's
if
good.
you walk uphill, you're going to walk downhill.
Right.
And so you get both sides of that coin, and Ashland isn't level ground anywhere.
Right.
So
So you're living in a place where you can get some exercise and do some walking, and it's safe and comfortable, and that works out for you. I think.
now
that's,
the biggest thing that bothers me is I can have the house closed up, and if somebody's out there with a ghetto blaster, and I can hear the boom,
oh
boom,
yeah, the
boom.
city park next door. Right.
And so those things, but here, these are old fogies.
Right.
There's a few young people here,
They're
but for the
pretty
most
mellow.
part,
Yeah,
they're
we try to.
they're old people, and in this complex, we're the only married couple.
Oh, really? Interesting. Very interesting. Now we got we have a laundromat
Yeah, right
next
there.
door.
And I'm the
Right.
laundress.
Oh, and you help with the help.
I do
your
the
wife
He
laundry.
does it
do
all.
Oh.
I can't walk that far anymore.
Oh, bless your
And so
heart. You're
I can do the laundry, and I'm just a stone's throw from here to there, and every once in a while I go into the rec room, the laundry room, make sure that everything is clean.
Oh, great.
I mean,
appreciate
it's not an assigned duty, but I just
you're
make
so
sure
sweet.
that doors are shut, and
And that
Yeah.
helps Sandy.
you know,
Right. Right.
work. See, if I owned the doorknob, well, then it would be different.
Right.
But I look out for you people by making sure that everything is kosher.
Well, I appreciate
best
that.
I can.
I really appreciate your concern and your care. I think that's,
Well, that's because we're neighbors.
well, it's very nice to hear. Sometimes we don't hear that from some of the people that rent from us, so it's very, very, very.
There's a few things, there's one tree out here that I had voiced to you that I'm concerned with, and the only reason that I'm concerned with it, if it was to tip over, it's either going to go on a building
Okay.
or on somebody.
We'll look at
And
that.
so,
yeah.
so there's a few issues, but it's not concerned for me personally, it's concerned with the overall.
Yeah,
Safety.
and I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. Good. Well, I think that probably concludes the questions that I was
But
going
I
to ask
don't know
both
if
of
that
you.
makes sense to you.
Oh, yeah,
As
yeah.
you on the doorknob, so I don't know if I'm saying things
No,
right.
you're right. You're right on target. That's very fine. The message is very clear. So we just, Bob and Donna, we want to thank you for this interview. We'll go ahead and finish up here, but we want to encourage people to come stop by and meet Bob and Donna at Johnston Manor, or walk around the complex, look at what we have, and
Well, you're coming
consider,
up on the best time of the year.
yeah, consider living here. We've got, periodically, we do have vacancies. We've got a couple coming up. One,
I know there's one empty that I know of.
Yeah,
10 is empty.
and number 9's coming up, so we're getting those rent for $610. 1 bedroom's rent for $610. 2 bedrooms rent for $675. So we'll close out the interview
And then
now.
I'm subsidized with HUD.
Right, you got a
know,
housing
so-
authority voucher, which we appreciate so much.
I get a little help there.
Right, and we want to, again, personally, we want to thank both you and Donna for taking the time to talk to us today and for being great residents. I mean, I don't get this opportunity very often to come into a home, a rental home, and talk to great residents. We appreciate you, and we appreciate your business so much. It means a lot.
Because I have, good or bad, I have this kind of a problem. When you come in, I don't see you as company, I see you as family.
Well, that's nice. That's a really nice. That's a nice
and
thing
it
to
don't
say.
matter to me where you're the help that comes in to help Donna, which ends up helping me. But these people are not stranger to me. They're family.
Right. Well, I appreciate it. That's a
and
very
that's the way I,
that's a
and
very
we have open door policy.
That's a very kind thing to say. So anyway, we'll close out this interview, and we want to thank you for your time, and it's been an honor and a privilege to talk to you today.
Oh, glad to be of help.
Good.